Here we are, playing against Cerulean, fearless host of what is formerly known as the Standard Popper Show, which was actually about much more than just Standard Popper. So the newly minted Magic the Gathering Strat show slash podcast. So be sure to check them out if you want to hear the latest on basically any alternative budget format on Magic Online. Most notably Standard Popper and some Pauper and some other stuff that they like to talk about too. Things like this Standard Pauper Sealed League, they kind of make the cut too. I'm a big fan of trying to support some random leagues. I want to make up some random leagues and use this community that likes to play these things and play some, free to enter, free to basically build your deck. These decks are super cheap, all commons, and then play for a bunch of tickets for prize. Surprisingly competitive, makes you feel like you're playing limited. And it's fun. So we win the die roll. Again, we are in the 1-2 bracket. I assume he is also 1 and 2. And I'm very confident in this deck. If you watched the earlier rounds, I do not know how I lost, except I do. Week one opponent was very good. Week 2 he flooded out. So it's looking at this hand. This hand looks perfect. We just basically need to hit some lands and creatures. It's not exactly perfect. I would like to trade in. I would trade like any one of these spells for a land, and then I would think it'd be really good. Other than Child of Night, I need that. I need them. So I win the roll, and I definitely choose to draw. I do not think very many decks are going to come out here blazing fast. So, okay, draw another 2-drop. That's fine. So what does he do? Plays Force, pass, draw another Triplicate Spirits again, so I really just need to hit land and creatures. Otherwise, I'm going to be in danger of doing nothing. I'm a Child Knight in the hopes that I can get some damages in. I'm going to miss my land drop, so I'm going to play Fleshbound Seed, so I'm definitely attacking into it. Definitely offer the trade. He declines. Play my Steed. Hand is just stacked. Just want land and only land. So he attacks with his Fortune. I think about it, and I think he's with only green. He's got to have like Awaken the Bear potentially. I don't know what other sets he picked yet, but right now I'm thinking he has Awaken the Bear, and it's like efficient use of his mana since he could be color screwed. And I don't really want him to do it. I'd rather trade 4 and tack back for 4, and then gain 2. So I think I just take. But he does nothing. So that makes me think long and hard here. I was like, he had to have played a creature. So I don't attack. And for whatever reason, I'm just playing around Savage Surge. I just thought he had it. So now he plays Island. Makes the same attack last turn, except into my Child of Night. And I am thinking like, I'll just take it. If he's got the Savage Surge or the Awakened Bear, it could throw him off his curve this turn. Now that he has 4 mana, he could be playing like a 4 blue drop that, takes 4. So I figure my Fleshbound Steed sucks. I kind of want the trick out of his hand. And so I figure, yes. Ooh, okay. That's really interesting play that he's Voyages ending my guy after I block. So I basically got a Fog for free and he got a Scry. That play just doesn't make any sense to me. Unless if he really wants this Alpine Grizzly to be alive, right? So now I miss my land drop again. And you just put him on Savage Surge. He just has to have it. So I don't want to run into that trap. It's basically a removal spell for my guy. And also having both my guys back here, and now I can't. I want to play around Savage Surge, but he has Nimbus Naiad and he just bashes me in the air for 6, which again, I think I'm totally fine with. He hits me for 6, but I get to hit him for 4 and gain 2, so at the end of the day, we just traded 4 for 4, and he tapped out. So I'm really hoping to hit land so I can leave Divine Verdict open, but I don't, so that's kind of rough. So I get to hit him for 4, play my Laguna Band Elder. So back at 14 all. And now he's got another interesting play. This turn he can at least attack and then leave Savage Surge open, but he plays Hunt the Weak, kills my guy, but in the process I gain 2 life. So now he's just really crushing me. Now, like, I basically have to hit a land or I'm probably dead because I still think he has this Savage Surge. So need to one time hit a land, get there, play it, beat down. He's actually getting pretty low now too. So this play is interesting. I almost think he just won't attack. I think that's kind of safe, but I pass, go to declare blocker step, and he just goes for the win. Savage Surge, and I say, no sir. You do not get to Savage Surge. Taps my guy who is already tapped. I get a 2 for 1, and he's stuck with a 2/2. We're stuck at 9 life apiece. And second main, he's got a 3/3. Okay, so that's not a bad position for him to go for the win there, because if I don't have it, which is very few cards I could have, he just wins. So it's not that bad to go for it, even though I was hoping for him to go for it. And his board position is fine. He's got 3 cards on hand still. I have 6, but I can't reasonably get rid of all these cards. So land would have been perfect, but nope, just can't hit a land. So I can't even play Covenant Blood. I can play Triplicate Spirits though. So in the realm of castable cards, it looks like this. I can play Triplicate Spirits, then Inspired Charge next turn. So I do that, and I figure I can take 5 here. If he swings, which I imagine he will. He encrusts my guy, doesn't untap, and its activated abilities can't be activated. Okay. So I figure I might want to chump just in case, but I don't think he can deal 4 extra damage to me with 3 green cards and 2 cards in hand. I figure he's more likely to play a creature. So if he plays a creature, a green creature, even if it's Leaf Counter Dryad. My 2/2 is the biggest guy, right? So he can block my 2/2. I Inspired Charge, and that is exactly 9 lethal if he can block this guy. So I figure, yeah, I'll take it and just kill you next turn. Yep, he plays a 2/2. I do draw the land, so now I just have, assuming his 1 card in hand is nothing, I just attack with everything and have lethal with Inspired Charge. Or Sanctified Charge, any charge. So yeah, you got to see like the power of my deck. Even like these cards are just powerful enough that that's all you need is like 1 turn to do it. We drew our 4th land on turn 8 and barely got there. We also drew a lot of our top end. We drew 6, 5, 7, 5, 5. So that's the risk of keeping a 2-land hand like that. But yeah, we go to boarding, and I believe sideboarding, I bring in second Freakus Cure. Figured it's going to kill this Grizzly in response to Hunt the Weak or whatever, and I figured Nimbus Naiad is another good creature that it could kill, and a little life gain could be good. We don't have anything in black-white to deal with this Encrust. I figure the white removal is still pretty good, and the black cards are still pretty good. So I think black-white's good against him. I really like Scholar Rathalos against green-blue in particular, because other than Hunt the Weak, he's got very little ways to actually kill the card. It's pretty solid against green-blue. Like if you've played any Scholar or any Theros block limited, like triple Theros, and you have like really good green-blue deck, and then you start playing against Scholar Rathalos, you start to realize like you can bounce it with Sea God's Revenge and Voyage's End and Griptide and stuff, but like they can play it and activate it in the same turn and just activate that thing till break it dawn, and they will usually beat you with it. So this hand is, again, I think I'm on the draw. I think he chose to play, which I would choose to draw, so I'm happy with that. 3-2 and a 2-3 is not the best, but we have perfect mana. So we just need to draw a little bit of business, and Scholar is perfect. 2-drop would be perfect here. Don't hit. Play the Swamp. Finally hit a 2-drop. Right on time. Not. Probably going to play this 3-2. Yep. Offer the trade. He'll probably die. Yeah, probably get Savage Surge or whatever. Savage Surge, yep. Whatever. Now we can play 2/2/2s. Make the mana efficient play. Could Hunt the Weak. Okay, he does not Hunt the Weak. Morph in green and blue. So he has Khans, Theros. It's like Monastery Flock or the Mystic guy. First off, I don't know what he's thinking here. If he attacks with his 3/3 with 3 mana open, I can't block. He's representing Voyage's End or Awaken the Bear, or another Savage Surge. I just can't block. But by playing more first, and then attacking, he's just letting me get an upgrade, trading a 2/2 for a 3/3. So that was definitely ill-advised attack, I'd say. So I'm free to attack into this Morph. It could be, I'm thinking Woolly Loxodon or Mystic of the Hidden Way or Monastery Flock. So we'll see. That's probably all he's got in terms of green and blue. So here again, exactly like I drew it up, I want to play out all of these guys and leave the Scholar as the last guy that I play. And wouldn't you know, he beats down my Fellhide Minotaur. And he can't attack because I could block with my Child of Night. So he's got a 3/3 and I got a couple 2/2s, but I figure Hunt the Weak is gone. Hopefully this thing, it's safe now. And he's got a Raw Dog Nimbus Naiad, so he's stuck on lands and can't play a 5-drop. So I'm not really sure. If I was him, I would have held on to that Nimbus Naiad, potentially, because later in the game I know what Morph he has here. I guess he doesn't want to attack because it's holding off my whole team, essentially, and my guy has lifelink, so I guess that's a fine play. So here, he's beating down, I think, long and hard. And I almost blocked Scholar Rathalos on the Morph, but if he flips it, and it's a Mystic of the Hidden Way, then it eats my guy, and that would be really bad. Because it would be a 4/3, and even then I 2-for-1 myself if I double block it, and he doesn't even have to flip it if I block with my 2 guys. So I figure I'm going to gain a lot of life back, and I get to crack back at him, and I'm not worried about Savage Surge necessarily. So I figure I can take, Extort for 2. He Voyages on my guy, sure. Extort again, Extort for 2. And now I get to beat down for 4, gain 2 life back. which is fine. And then play him again. So again, it's just like, okay, my activated ability is hasty. Whirlwind Adept, alright, that could be annoying. You know, I'm kind of thinking Nimbus Nad would be good on that, but I can just... This can't really block my 2/2s into it very well, because any spell gets me, which would be bad. But yeah, I'll just keep activating, keep padding my life total. Keep getting flooded, but it's alright. I can beat down here. My thought is you can't block with the 4/2. And I can't block his 4/2 very well, I don't think. And I can also Freakish Cure the 3/3. And so I just gained a lot of life with this. I do 2-for-1 myself, but I don't think this Freakish Cure is doing very much, and I don't value killing the 2/2 flying because I can just race it quite easily. And it turns out it is Mystic of the Hidden Way, so it makes sense with what he had for it to be Mystic of the Hidden Way, then Monastery Flock, then the Grizzly guy. Or Woolly Loxodon. Whoa. Second Nimbus Naiad. That is pretty good. So, the fact that he attacks, though, is, you know, he's trying to make this a race, and I just, you know, get to extort for 2 every turn. So, he's down to 7, and I'm still at 17. Trying Merchant's pretty sick, because I get to extort for 3, drain 3, beat with my 2/2. He pretty much has to block now. Oh, I get a free attack with the 1/4. So I get a free extra point. You know, I'll have 1 activation here, which will put him to 2. So even if he kills my guy with, like, Hunt the Weak right now, he's got Griptide, okay. Even with that, I get to activate, and, you know, I get to play Scholar next turn. I'll only have 8 mana, so I'll only have 1 activation. So he's attacking, which I think is... I guess he has to have a blocker, because he's at 2. The fact that he doesn't have a 3 toughness blocker means he just put himself in chump block mode with no cards in hand. So he's just in a bad spot. Basically, he only has 1 draw step to kill this Scholar. And then Merchant would be staring down the Scholar. So he draws, beats me down, and I go, is it Tamir Battle Rage? It needs to be the green Tamir Battle Rage. But it is not. And then he comments, you know, he says, it is not a Haymaker, it is a Smoke Teller. And then he's pretty much dead to the activated ability. He did have Encrust in his deck. Encrust would have been really good on Scholar of Atheros to stop the activated ability, but again, Scholar is just so strong against green-blue in general. So I activated it so many times. You know, if I didn't activate it, I'd probably be close to dead. Yeah, so... pretty good showing for the black-white version of the deck. I think it is the best version of my deck. I think the blue version is good against some other decks. The blue-black might be better against, a little bit better against an anti-aggro deck. But either way, fairly confident starting 0-2 that I could end 3-2. My deck is solid. So hopefully, you know, we can sneak into top 8 at 3-2. Probably have the worst breakers ever. But I wish good luck to all my opponents. I know my first round opponent hopefully is doing well. Hopefully everybody else is doing well too. So stay tuned for next week. We'll have 1 more pack. I think I'm gonna, for the very last week, I don't know if we get a new pack during the top 8. If you make top 8. For the last week, I think I want to pick Fate Reforged. I think one of the best cards that I could get is either Gurmag Angler is really good. Harsh Sustenance is really good. Sandstepped Outcast would be really good. Reach of Shadows. I think there's a lot of good cards in black-white. Think of the other enemy colored things. I'd guaranteed to get a land, so I could get a black-white land. That would be nice. Other good cards. The blue-red card, not really. The green-black card, not really. Grim Harvest or Harsh Sustenance, yeah. Cunning Strike. What else is there? Green-blue, Ethereal Ambush. Green-blue is not really close to being powerful enough. And War Flare. Actually, War Flare would be good, but I already have 2 War Flare effects already, so I really just want the black-white. Harsh Sustenance one was really sick with the Triplicate Spirits. Yeah, because I can't pick M15, so I could pick Theros and hope to hit another Merchant, but I don't really... Merchant's not... I guess I would like another one, but I don't really need another 5-drop. My deck has a tendency to have too high of a curve. I don't really want any heroic creatures. So green or black also could hit Sultai Emissary or the 1/3 that gains 3 life. I think Sultai Emissary would be really good. But I think I'm going to go with Fate Reforged just to mix it up a little bit, but I think it has, if I could pick any pack, I think I'd just keep taking M15. I think M15 is really sick. But yeah, so that's my logic. I'm sticking to it. We'll see you for Fate Reforged next week. Thank you very much for watching.